Hi everyone, my name is Esther Kochka and I'm one of the University Fellows for the Office of Orientation and Student Engagement. I graduated last year from the class of 2020 and I studied sociology here at CNU actually. Some fun facts about me: I actually homeschooled until my 11th grade of high school, and I've been to 11 countries and 26 states, so I'm working my way around this country, trying to visit all 50 states eventually, but not sure when that would happen. So that's a little bit about me, but today is all about you, so we're going to teach you how to make an omelet in a mug. I got my Fireside mug right here. So you'll need a mug or something like that that you could use in the microwave. You can see it right here, my glamorous microwave behind me. You also need a fork, and in terms of ingredients, it's kind of up to you. They recommend eggs, milk, and then some different things to put inside of this omelet. So cheddar cheese, red bell pepper, green chives, onions, anything like that. Today I have cheddar cheese, red bell pepper, and spinach to put inside. So to get started, we're gonna go ahead and grease the inside of this and put 2 eggs in the mug. All right. All right. And then I'm going to take 2 eggs, pop them inside the mug. Number 2. And then you're just gonna beat the eggs until they're well beaten. All right, so step 2, I'm actually gonna add about a tablespoon of milk, and I'm using almond milk, but I believe you can use any type of milk. And then I'm going to beat this until it's all mixed up. And then from here, you can add whatever toppings you want to. So like I said, I'm gonna add some bell pepper. I'll go ahead and show you what I've got. All right, so as you can see, the egg is fairly well beaten, and I've got a fork right there. So I'm going to add some bell pepper. Not really sure how much to add. It recommends, a couple tablespoons or so. So let's just start with that. You can also add onion or green onion, chives, anything like that. I'm also gonna add some of the spinach. I'm gonna add all the spinach actually. I'm gonna put the rest of these bell peppers in, and then top it off with a little bit of salt and pepper as well. So if you don't have your Fireside mug, you can also use, a different type of mug or just a bowl or something like that instead. And then I'm just gonna mix this around until it's all well mixed. And looks like there's some different stuff in there. I think it's a good assortment of different things. So then we're gonna pop it in the microwave. So step 3 is actually to put this in the microwave, and then we're going to cook it for 20 to 30 second increments at a time. So I'm just gonna go ahead and press the 1 and wait about 20 to 30 seconds, and then I'll take it out and stir it. All right, so it's been cooking for about 20 seconds now, so I'm gonna take it out of the microwave. So just to check on it, it's gonna take a couple rounds of this, so stir it around. I can already see the eggs starting to cook. Looks good so far. Gonna pop it back in for another 30 seconds. So while your omelet is microwaving, I want you to start thinking about kind of relationships all the way through finals week and over the summer. Because I know that you have a lot on your mind at this point, but it's important to consider how you're going to continue building relationships even after the semester is over. This could be with your faculty or with your friends or anyone on campus, whether or not you're graduating or returning in the fall. So that could mean, looking into different ways to reach out to people. All right, hold that thought. We're gonna stir it one more time. Ready? Oh, wow. Okay, so this one, it is cooked almost all the way through. Let me show you what this looks like. So you can see that it's really starting to cook. I've started using my left hand and I'm not left-handed. It's really starting to cook on the outside. So that's why you just need to stir it around a little bit, at least lightly, not really intensely, but just enough to mix up the outside of the egg and flip it onto the inside. So we're gonna put it back into the microwave, and it probably will take only another 20 to 30 seconds or maybe 2 rounds of it. So, like I was saying, it's important to find new tactics to keep up with people over the summer because you're not going to be seeing the same people regularly on campus. So let me grit this. So start thinking through, who is your circle of friends, especially if you just finished your first year, then you maybe met a lot of people this year. So who are the people that are going to keep up with you over the summer, and who do you want to continue to reach out to and develop those friendships into the fall? And that goes for faculty as well. Something really cool about college is that you have all of these relationships with professors that don't have to end once your class is over. So continue to stay connected with those professors that you really liked, or that were studying something that you're really passionate about, because they like hearing from you in the summer as well. So without further ado, I think our omelet, it's done. Let me show you. So I only microwaved this for about 1.5 minutes total in those 30-minute increments. And I think it's done, honestly. The egg, you can see, is cooked all the way through. And it's a little bit different than an omelet just because obviously it doesn't have that whole omelet shape. But this looks really good. So let's try it. All right, moment of truth. Wow, that's pretty good. I'm impressed. So it's as easy as those 3 steps. You're going to spray your mug, or you could use butter or something else. You probably don't have to, especially if you're going to be stirring it often. And then crack those eggs inside, mix them up with some milk. Could use water if you need to, and then add whatever ingredients that you want. So you can experiment with some of those ingredients. And then I microwaved it at 30-second increments until it was cooked all the way through. So there you go, omelet in a mug.
Hi everyone, my name is Kennedy Struck, one of the current University Fellows for the Office of Orientation and Student Engagement, and today we are here to present part 2 of our microwave cooking show presented at Stress last week. So Esther and I will be showing you a bunch of different little things you can make in your microwave during finals week, as well as giving you some tips and tricks on things you can also think about. So let's get started. Before we get started, I just wanted to talk a little bit about why I care about Stress last week. While you guys are doing amazing work finishing up the semester, writing your papers, studying for your assignments, the whole thing, it's important to also take that time to take a step back and be like, okay, I studied for a test for 16 hours straight. Maybe you don't jump right into the next thing. Taking care of yourself is a huge, important part, of your whole life as well, but certainly during Stress last week and during finals week. So we aim to provide some sort of thing to help you kind of de-stress after you're taking all these assignments and doing all these tests. So let's jump into it. So the first thing we're gonna make today is nachos in the microwave. This is a really easy and simple dish that you can make. All you need is a microwave and a couple of ingredients. The first one being your Tostito scoops. These are my favorite ones, but you can get really any kind of chips that you really like. So, and then what you also need is your shredded cheese, which you're gonna put on top of your nachos, and I'll show you in a little bit. You can also add other stuff, but I understand that if you're a freshman or a sophomore, you don't really have all that much refrigeration space for you to have all that sort of thing. So yeah, let's get on to the next step. So the first thing you're going to want to do is get a plate of your choice. As you see here, we have many different options of plates, but personally I like these ceramic blue ones. My parents gave them to me, so I think they're the best ones. What you're going to do then is you're going to put your plate down and get your bag of Tostito chips. You're going to open that bag, and you're certainly going to want to eat one first. That's a good chip. And you're going to dump them out on the plate like so. So that's on it up. Sort of spread them around a little bit so you can get the most coverage of chip to plate. Then you're going to take your shredded cheese, get a good hand there, and then you're just going to drizzle them all over the chip. Just like that. And if you have other things, like if you have diced tomatoes, maybe you have some ground beef, or if you have sour cream, you can also put that on there as well, or after you microwave. So let's get to microwaving. So the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna get your microwave, you're gonna pop that open, you're gonna put the chips in there, and you're gonna close that. Typically you want about a minute 20 seconds so that the cheese can fully melt. So you're just gonna do that. And we'll see you in a minute and 20 seconds. Let's see how they turned out. They have a cacophonous sound about them. I could have put a little more cheese on there, but still, that doesn't look that bad. While we wait for these nachos to cool down, let's talk a little bit about the summer. First and foremost, congratulations on completing your semester. You should be very proud of yourself. The next things that you have to think about, outside of finals, is moving out of your residence hall. You should definitely watch out for more information from your RA, as they'll have way more knowledge about that than I do. In addition to that, you should also be thinking about the other things that you want to do during the summer. In addition to getting your rest and relaxation, which you should do first and foremost, maybe you get a job or an internship. Maybe you hang out with friends. Maybe you're taking online classes. Whatever that looks like, you should think about having a plan for that. And then when it comes to keeping up with your friends, make sure you do that. They're gonna miss you just as much as you miss them. Let's check out how our nachos turned out. I like to put a little bit of hot sauce on mine to give it a little extra flavor. Oh, that looks great. These nachos are bussin'.
All right, welcome back everyone to the Microwave Cooking Show. Again, my name is Esther and I'm one of the university fellows. So I know we already created an omelet, but we're gonna kind of shift gears and create a microwave cookie. This is going to be a chocolate chip cookie, so kind of your standard stuff, but this one includes some different ingredients that you might not have on hand. So basically, overall, it's gonna use brown sugar and regular sugar, which if you only have one or the other, it probably would be okay. It's just gonna change the consistency. And then next is flour, chocolate chips, a little bit of salt, and that's it. So I am gonna start again by spraying the inside of my mug, just to make sure that it doesn't stick to the bottom. So if you've got your Fireside mug on hand, go for it. All right, so I sprayed the bottom of it. Oh, I didn't mention the oil actually, so let me get my coconut oil as well. And those are all of our ingredients. So first we're going to just mix all the ingredients together. So first is a tablespoon of coconut oil. So I'm gonna put that in the bottom. And you could use butter, and they ask you to melt it beforehand, but I'm actually not gonna melt it. I'm just gonna put it all together and stir it and hope that it survives. Next, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. So we're just gonna put that right in the bowl right here. You can see I've got my coconut milk, coconut butter, coconut oil, and brown sugar in the bottom. And then next, some regular sugar. Again, the brown sugar just helps with like the consistency of chocolate chip cookies. I think it helps it be a little bit more chewy. It's really what you want. Some people like crunchy chocolate chip cookies. That's not gonna happen in the microwave. This is gonna be chewy. So next we have a pinch of salt. So I'm just gonna open up this guy and put a little bit of salt inside. And then 1 egg yolk. So this is a little bit complicated. If you've never used egg yolks before, I'm actually going to get a second mug for this and show you how to get the egg yolk. So basically you take your egg and you crack it into a separate bowl. And this is important because you only want the egg yolk, you don't want the egg whites. So to separate this, bring it a little closer so you can see, you crack it on the side, and then you're gonna crack it normally, but you wanna keep the yolk inside the egg shell. So you see how all the egg white went into the mug? Now you're just gonna keep the egg yolk inside the shell, and then this is the mug with the egg yolk. This is the mug for the cookie. So I'm gonna put the egg yolk, I said that backwards, but you know what I mean. So I have 2 separate mugs here. Throw that away. So this is the egg white, which I'm not gonna use. I can use that later for like an omelet. Could have put that in the omelet that I made, so maybe do this in reverse order. And then second one has the yolk inside. So far I've got 3 different ingredients, the 2 sugars, egg yolk, and salt. And I'm gonna wash my hands just really fast, especially because I had egg on my hands. All right, so then the next ingredient is the flour. So you just need a 1/4 cup, so just a little bit. If you're estimating this at home, a 1/4 cup, it's not this much. I don't know how to indicate that. I don't know how to estimate a 1/4 cup, but you know, a normal mug is about 1.5 cups. All right, so then I got all those ingredients inside. I'm gonna add my chocolate chips. And this just calls for about 2 tablespoons of chocolate chips. And it's kind of up to you how many you want to put in there. So I'm gonna start with about the 2 tablespoons, see what I think. All right, so then I've got all my ingredients inside and we'll be able to move on to the next step. All right, so next I'm going to just mix up all the ingredients here, and I unfortunately cannot mix it while I'm holding onto the phone because I have to be able to hold the mug. But I'm gonna mix it all the way up and then put it into the microwave. All right, so now you can see it's all mixed up, so we'll take it over to the microwave, and basically we're gonna put it in for 1 minute at 80%. So the way that you can do that is you can't do the easy set. You have to choose cook, let me cancel it. Cook time 1 minute, and then do power level 8. And then that way it'll just be at 80%, so it's not quite as hot. And that cooks for 1 minute at 80%. All right, it sounds like our cookie is just about done. So before we take it out, I want you to consider how wellness fits into your routine for finals week. It's really important for you to keep taking breaks and even using different services like counseling or, connecting with friends who are really good for you outside of studying for exams. We understand that you have a lot on your plate, and so it's important that you prioritize your classes, that you're able to put in the time that you need for those classes, for your tests and everything. That's important, number one. But you also are going to need to make sure that you take some breaks. So maybe if you're studying for a 5-hour time chunk, study for 45 minutes, take a 5-minute break. 45 minutes, 5-minute break, something like that, to help you in your routine to make sure that you're considering every part of your health and not just your academic health. So now we're gonna check it out. Oh, didn't think about this angle. All right, so it looks like, oh wow, looks pretty cool to me. Let me flip it around so you can see. All right, so as you can see, it looks like it's actually cooked fairly well. I think it's cooked all the way through. The recipe says that it may look like it's underdone just because, obviously in the microwave, it's not gonna have that golden brown top to it. But if you push on it, you can kind of see that it bounces back, which is what you're looking for in your cookie. So now let's try it. All right, so I'm gonna taste test this. Looks like it is cooked perfectly. Wow, it is amazing. The chocolate is all melty. Look at this. Wow. Okay. This is really good. Cookie in a mug. Happy Stress Less Week.
If you've got a sweet tooth, this next food will be just for you, as we've got mug cakes. Cake in a cup, cookie in a cup, whatever you want to call it. Let's jump in. There's a couple of ingredients that you'll need to make this dish. The first thing is you'll need your mug cake mix, followed by a mug of your choice. I personally like the Student Engagement Fireside mug, and you'll need 3 tablespoons of water. So, let's get started. The first thing you're going to do is open your package. Usually they have a little tear here slip, so you can just do that. And you're going to pour the entire packet into your mug, just like that. Oh, make sure that you don't get it all over the place. Gonna pat that down. And then you're gonna add 3 tablespoons of water. If you don't have a measuring cup, it's perfectly fine to eyeball it. You just have to do it like this. And there you go. Let's microwave. That was not 3 tablespoons. That was like... The next thing you want to do is you're gonna want to stir thoroughly until the batter is smooth. That makes sure that you don't get any clumps and that you actually make the cake instead of just making random stuff. Now that it's all stirred, the next thing you're going to want to do is pop it in the microwave. Please follow the instructions. Whatever it says is best, but this one says to microwave it for about 1 minute and 10 seconds. So we're going to close that. I'm excited to see what comes out. While we're waiting for the cookie in the mug to cool off, let's talk a little bit about finals week, and most importantly, time management during finals week. Since classes aren't really happening at a regular time and they kind of give you a schedule to kind of figure it all out, it's really important that you know when your finals are, what your final is, and when you're studying for them. that's going to have a huge impact on what the rest of your finals week looks like, because you're going to have so much more free time than you typically do in a normal week. So in addition to that, other things that you need to think about is that this semester you are on campus this time. So you can use all the library space, you can use classrooms, you can also study with friends and classmates that are way more accessible than they were last semester. Making sure that you're studying effectively and efficiently is the best way for you to be successful during finals week. And making sure that you know what your final is, so that when you show up to take a test and you find out that you're supposed to write a final paper, that doesn't happen. So let's find out how our cookie went. Let's see how our cake in a cup turned out. Not too bad. It comes with icing too, at least this packet does. So let's pop some icing on there and see what it comes out to be. Look at that. We've got cake in a cup. Thank you for tuning in to the second edition of the Microwave Cooking Show, hosted by the Student Engagement Fellows. I hope you learned a couple of new microwave recipes, which you can certainly use at any time. My name is Kennedy Struck with the Office of Orientation and Student Engagement, and have a great finals week, and happy Stress Less Week!